Howdy kitty, Scott Grove here. Just got in this 1984 Gibson Explorer 3. Yes, this is a factory finish in 1984, the camouflage finish. As you can tell, yep, it's a Gibson. That's the nitro cracking everywhere on it. So that's the finish. It's cracked all over the place just like nitro does if you don't take care of it. If you take care of it, sure, it can be a different thing. But it's not, as you can tell there. So anyway, this came via eBay, of course, and just going to show you a few things around the guitar. I'm just going to change strings, show you what to expect sometimes when you get things online, and plus since I did a thing on doing fretboards and blah blah blah, moisture and humidity and so forth, how to clean crap, I'm just going to kind of show you through my basic day after I get a guitar. Okay, what I have to do to it. Okay, first of all, it showed up and these fingerprints, everything, and all that, of course, were all over it. They don't bother to clean anything up before they send it to you. Number one, your pickups are not supposed to be very close to your strings at all, ever. That kills your sustain. Magnets close to your strings, the strings want to stop vibrating right above your magnet pull pieces. So you want your magnets low, and then just turn your amp up a little bit more and you're fine to go. But remember, your magnets are not supposed to be near your strings, let alone your pickups near your strings. Look at this guitar, let's see. Yep, there you go. Every single pickup is touching the strings. I mean, not close to them, they are touching them. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff you get every now and then. Okay, also, wrong knobs for the guitar. These are brand new. One of them is anyway. So we'll pop that one off. The other one, I didn't have to worry about popping off. She was already cracked and busted off, so we get to get rid of that. And yes, I have a collection of vintage knobs from the 80s, 70s, 60s, blah blah blah. There you go, you got some smoke in there. So they're not pristine, they are vintage, straight off the real McCoys, not no junk. Okay, so right away, we just get right here. Time to go in with our clippers, get rid of the old strings. Okay? And yes, okay, I've got one cut, biggie whoop. I don't know exactly how well the camera will focus, but we'll find out in 2 seconds. But the strings that you're going to get from most people, we'll let the camera try to focus in on these. See if they will or not. Let's see. Anyway, these strings, if you can't tell, the low E string is gone now, are rusted to beat hell. So there's the rest of the low E string. And as you can see, the frets themselves are rusted to beat hell. There you go, you can see the strings. They are rusted, big time. Okay, so there's the condition of our frets, our fretboard, our strings. Again, the body, let's get a little glare on there. There's the cracks from the nitro. So if you don't take care of your stuff and keep them in the wrong humidity, the wrong temperatures and everything, that's what you have to look forward to generally in nitro. There's some more of it. That's just your finish. Okay, so that's just good old neglect right there. And today I have, let's see, the shirt. I've got gas, that's right. The guitar acquisition syndrome. Like I had to tell you that. Okay, so back to the guitar. Let's get rid of these nasty ass strings. And then we get to see what, always happens to Gibson guitars when we cut the strings off. Yes, and don't ever be afraid to take your strings off. People ship you and these are D'Addarios. That's why they're so rusted. Of course it's a Gibson, so the tailpiece just fell off. See, I'm going to show you right there. Yep, you recognize them, D'Addarios. They rust out like a bitch because they're shit strings. So Elixirs will kick their ass every time because they don't rust. They can't, they won't, they don't. So let's take it off. Also, plus on Gibson guitars, what else happens? That's right, you turn it over to do something, the bridge falls off too. So you gotta watch everything with Gibson because they're not put together. People are like, well, put some tape on there and do this and do that and it won't come off. It's like, I seriously don't want tape all over my guitar. Not on the finish. I will tell you a place here in a moment where you would actually want to put tape on your guitar. And when you're putting strings on, don't ever tie them on in any way, shape, or fashion. Don't run them back through the hole again. Don't run it over and then back under or top over the top and then on the bottom. Don't do a curly cue. Don't do a loop. Don't do any of that stupid bullshit. It's just retarded and it takes a lot longer to get your strings off. Okay, as always, the tuners are about ready to fall off here. This is the way it goes with every guitar that comes in. Everything is always loose as can be on every guitar I buy, not just some. Tuners, yet they're about ready to fall off the guitar. The top nuts on the tuners are always ready to fall off. Right now I'm tightening the screws on the sides because they're about ready. The screws are about ready to fall out of the tuners. This is just due to lack of maintenance by everybody. Because no matter what guitar I buy, it's the same thing. Every time. It don't matter whether it's brand new from a music store or from anywhere, from the manufacturer. It makes no difference. They're always screwed up. Right here, let me get some of this stuff out of the way. These are always loose. And again, very, very loose, ready to fall off the guitar again. So, not a good thing. Everybody keeps, why is my guitar going out of tune? Because you don't take care of your shit. So, I'm going to flip her over, tighten the screws on the back of the headstock. You got to do this every now and then. They work themselves loose. Don't just expect because they were tight when you bought it or when you first did some work to it that it's going to stay that way, because it's not. You're going to jar your guitar around. Different conditions are going to cause things to loosen or to just slip. That's what they do. It's an old saying called shit happens. Okay, here on the back of the headstock, you won't be able to see it because I can't see it from here. Gibson stamps in, right there you go, made in USA. Can you see the serial number? Me neither. It's barely there. I mean, you got to get under some major light to see it. Gibson puts so much shit here after they stamp it. I mean, it is right here next to the keys, kids. Let me find the keys. Okay, there's part of it. It's right above where it says Made in USA. You can't see it. There you go. I'm trying to get it. But you won't be able to read it. Gibson puts so much crap on their guitars that it actually fills in the serial numbers where they stamped them. Okay, so there you go. And we're getting ready to lose more parts off of the bridge back here, little washers and stuff, just because everything falls off of Gibson. And that's just the way Gibson is. Okay, so number one, we know that the pickups are just stupidly high because whoever owned this before me was just stupidly guitarded. So we will put these pickups down there a bit. Okay. They are just entirely way too far up there. Dun, 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 dun. Heck, some of these are about ready to fall out because they're so damn loose. The pickup may not even be attached anymore underneath there. Okay, so just lowering the pickups down so I can mess with them later. And then they even unscrewed some of the screws even more to try to get them even higher. It's like, man, you're going to be using this thing for a slide bar if you get them any higher. Because, like I showed you, they were actually touching every pickup. All three of them were touching the strings in every possible place that they could. Just amazing what retarded people are out there. Okay, now my last video that I put up about guitars was about taking care of your fretboards, especially your rosewood ones. People are putting different oils on there and all that crap. Don't do that ever. Water is fine. for just a moment and then get her out of there. Okay, now beforehand, since I showed you how these frets were so rusted out, what you want to do if you have rusty frets, get little, crappy little thin pads like this. Not your SOS pads with the soap, but just your steel wool. And you're going to clean your frets up. Now generally you would actually put masking tape right in between your frets so you won't scratch up your board. But I've gotten so good at this lately, you can just mask it right up next there, mask it right up there so you don't scratch up your board, okay? Use masking tape, of course. Cut it with a pair of scissors so you get a good straight line. I just get to take these puppies. Okay, I get to clean the frets. I know this is going to be the most boring hour of crap you've ever seen, but I'm going to show you something, okay? Okay, just that quick. Okay, there's the last fret compared to the rest already, okay? Ain't that amazing? So you're going around with shitty frets. Hey, look what I got. Brand spanking new. No, you're not taking no metal off with this. Just cleaning the damn guitar. Okay? So if you've never done this before, you got some shit to do. I could sit here and tell you about my day because I get to do this for about 10 minutes. But again, always, instead of risking screwing up your wood, mask it off and clean them. You're going to get a bunch of those shavings. See how we're doing here so far? See, nice pretty frets, nice dirty frets. Okay, let's get the light on them. There you go, you got nice ones. Okay, so I'm going to grab me a little bit bigger piece here. Kills this in 2 seconds. Okay, looking good. So anyway, everything on this guitar is no different than I thought it would be, because I could tell they put some high resolution pictures up. They never said that they weren't going to clean it at all before they sent it to me. But it's to be expected because most people generally suck. I have a motto, and I'm sure that most of you who actually know me or kind of know me will not be at all surprised by this one. But my basic motto, or the way I look at people in general, are people suck. All people suck until they give you a reason to think otherwise. So don't ever assume, as far as I'm concerned, don't ever assume that somebody is cool. Always assume the worst in people. That's the way I look at life. People are like, man, that must suck, don't it? It's like, no, it keeps me from getting shit on over and over again. So when it comes to buying guitars online, or whether it comes to anything, just know that everybody is, or just think that everybody's out to get you. Because people instinctively look out for number one, which is what you're supposed to do. But that doesn't mean you have to, screw people over to get what you want. If you're generally kind to people, things will come to you. Because it's a thing called karma, dude. Let's blow a big doobie in and talk about it. Okay, so I'm content with my job here. I'm going to get rid of about 10 years worth of dirt on the nut right now, just by simply going over it again with this very, 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 very fine, not because it's very nice, but very fine grade pad. I'm going to use my string cleaning rag or your cheesecloth. Get rid of all that, get rid of it from off the pickups. Okay. This is what you want to use to clean your guitar bodies with. And again, you can use spit or just a little bit of water. No, nothing else. No Windex, no anything with oils in it of any kind, nothing, no kind of rubbing compounds, no bullshit that you buy, no Gibson guitar polish, none of that stuff. It's not good for your stuff. Like I said, it's just, from the last video, it's just snake oil. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to grab my regular glass of tap water here, and I'm going to shove in the terry cloth rag right here with my finger stuck in it. Shove it right into the old water. And it's kind of warm, might make me pee myself. And this is just going right onto the fretboard. Okay? And this will dry up in no time. I say don't put any lemon oil or anything else on your fretboards, because it's no good for it. You want to get, and as I clean that up, I can see where I missed one little tiny spot of the corrosion and crud. And that's good, because you're moving some of this around. You can see the spots you missed. Put your finger back in there and just simply rub the holy crap out of this. Does it hurt to have all your strings off? I was getting ready to talk about that a little while ago. No, of course not. Guitars are shipped with all the strings loosened completely up, or most of all the tension taken off of it. You go to fly, you go to do anything, you go to ship it, you loosen the strings, and sometimes it takes a week for it to get there to you. If it was going to harm it at all, why would anybody, especially the manufacturers, leave the tension off the neck? So changing your strings, change them all at once. Don't listen to anybody who tells you to change one at a time because it's going to fuck up your neck. It's not. Okay, so I have completely cleaned this to my satisfaction with water. I'm not trying to drench it. You don't need to water a dead tree. Okay, I see a little more rust here. I'm going to get rid of that. It starts to poke out just a little bit, and that should do it. And ta-da, that is done. And now I just wipe off the excess water, so it's just not pooling up on there. Okay, so that has been done. Okay, so there you go. There's the shit off your fretboard. This is rosewood. Maple fretboards, fingerboards will never look like this ever. Okay, and this is fairly mild. It was pretty clean. But there you go, the brand spanking new rag right here. And that's the gunk from so far. We'll get more off of it just cleaning off the water when it dries. It's actually dry now. Okay, so I'm going to go to the string cleaning rag now and simply clean everything else. Just a little bit of water in here. Throw it on the axe because it is filthy. Pickup covers and all are just as horrible as it can be. Plain water is a part of life. It's part of everything. It makes up 90% or 98% of your body. It makes up 98% of everything that a guitar is made out of. All the wood, all the finish, all the everything in here. So it is perfectly safe for your guitar unless it comes in the form of constant crazy humidity or lack of humidity. So doing this is no big deal. This is just tossing, boy, this thing is just filthy. I mean, just filthy dirty of sweat. Nothing but sweat everywhere. All over this guitar. Fingerprints, stuff that just don't even want to come off. I would want to sandblast this under most conditions. Okay, so if you're getting bored, fast forward. But I'm just talking as I show you what I go through. So I'm just simply making the guitar extremely moist here and trying to get off what I'm sure is decades of sweat. I will clean the back side after I get some strings on here, because you can't turn it over without losing the rest of the guitar. Okay, that's because just Gibson's horrible nature to not change things. There are tons of aftermarket parts to fix all this shit, but will Gibson change it? No. Why? Because the public does not want them to change it. Okay, now I'm going to the dry side of the rag and drying up. Okay, the body, that is, not the neck yet, or the fretboard. So I'm trying to get off half this gook if need be, and if it's really thick, you can slightly use a buffing wheel but you have to watch it with these nitro finishes because you'll take the finish right off the guitar. Polyurethane, you don't have to worry about it. Nitrocellulose, you have to worry about everything. As you can see from looking at it. Again, people are like, why do you diss this stuff? It's like, well, look at it. I could show you a million Fender guitars. I know Fender uses nitro too on some of their crap, and it looks as bad as this does, as does any guitar. So it's just nitro in general, not because it's a Gibson. But nitro will always look 10 times worse than poly will if you treat it wrong. I've got buddies of mine who treat their guitars that are Gibsons, or any guitars that are nitro finished, and they look perfectly great. They look like the day they were made. But if you treat them wrong, they will look worse so much faster than a polyurethane finish will. Okay, so just know that. So if you're not going to take care of your guitar, get a poly finish. That way you don't have to worry about it nearly as much, because it's going to stay fine. But it won't stay fine if you're, you know, exposing it to adverse conditions. Again, being major temperature fluctuations, and same with the humidity. I'm trying to sit here and do a simple rub back and forth, and all the wheels and everything on the front of this to adjust my height for the bridge are all turning and everything, which is a horrible system. So if you're not worried about keeping your guitar original, on all Gibson guitars with this tune-o-matic shit, change it. Like I said, a million companies make tons of aftermarket parts so that your bridges don't fall off, so that things don't spin around like they're doing right now, and you lose all your setup. Okay? That's what happens when you have a Gibson tune-o-matic system. You touch one little thing, it spins around and throws your whole setup completely off. Okay, I have got tons of swirls that are happening in the nitro that are just happening from rubbing it. This does not happen to polyurethane at all. And this is the softest. Now I'm just using spit when I need it. Spit is not a problem unless your girlfriend spits, and that's just preference. Yeah, I went there. Of course I go there. I'm me, so I always go there. Okay. So I'm basically there to where I can polish the rest of it after I get this setup done. So you don't need to sit there and watch me do the rest of the string change. Okay, now I'm taking the rest of our shitty ass looking rag here and going to the dry side. On the dry side, oh yeah. And polishing again my newly polished frets and wiping off the very fine water spot looking things that are left on the fretboard. Okay, and again, don't fear ever taking all of your strings off at one time. That's the only way to clean your guitar good and proper. Okay, doing them one at a time, no, it's bullshit. Will you get it clean? No, you won't. Everybody else, well, I get it clean all the time. No, you don't. You think you do, but you're not. Okay, so there we go. We are clean. I'm going to finish up the headstock with a little cheesecloth, because you use a terry cloth on nitro and you're going to permanently ruin your finish. Okay, so the fretboard is clean. The frets are clean. The fretboard is dry. We are all nice and shiny. The guitar is as clean as it's going to get for now. Okay, so we simply have to put more strings on. So we get real strings, Elixir Polywebs. Not the nanos, not the anything else. These are the best strings ever invented by anybody. Elixir themselves doesn't know it. They are morons. Before I do this, yes, the bridge, or the tailpiece, is screwed up too. It's got some corrosion on it. I'm going back to that same steel wool. Guess what? This sumbitch is feeling like brand new in a matter of about 5 seconds. Okay, it had tons of corrosion and crap everywhere. And already it looks like I just went out and bought it. There's no scratches, no nothing. This is steel, kids. You can have at it. You don't have to worry about the chrome coming off on this. Okay, I should have showed you this first, but some bitch shines like a new goddamn penny right now. And trust me, it looked as bad as the rest of the guitar did. And let me find the bridge, see what we got. Yeah, we got it looking just as bad as the rest. Let's see if the camera will focus. See that? All that pitting and all that bullshit. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1004, 1005. Let's show it to you. Focus. Yeah, looks like damn near brand new. One wipe on the shirt, I bet it comes back. There you go. You see how much different that makes? So I'll go right over the parts that I just missed. Finish up the rest of the bridge real quick. And this will look like and feel like a brand new bridge. Okay? I could sit around and be a little more precise with it, but I can always go back and do it. What I don't feel like doing is changing a tape in my camera, so I'm just going to keep on rolling on the river. Do the back sides of the saddles, do the front sides of the saddles, quick sweeps. And shit looks pretty damn good. Okay, so there you go, kids. I've got a new bridge. Okay, looks like it just came from the factory. Okay, and didn't have to pay shit for it. I'll go ahead and put that on the guitar. It goes that way. Always look at which way it was on there before when somebody, hopefully when they set the harmonics on there. If they didn't, then I will set them later off camera. Okay, on these stupid guitars, always load up the bridge first. Okay, so I just throw the low E through there all the way on down. Grab the A, blah blah blah. Cram them through, get them all ready to go. Okay, as I'm looking at the guitar, what else does it need? Okay, yeah, it needs the new knobs. Everything else looks good. They're just pieces of the steel wool stuck to a couple things, and that'll just blow off. Easy enough. And I know this is the most boring video you've ever seen in your life, but I'll just only mention a couple things. If you actually want to sit here and hang out with me, you're more than welcome to. I'm posting it just to post it, and just to yak and show you what I have to go through, and maybe you'll pick up a little idea or two as I go along. I don't know if you will or not. And once it's all said and done, will I ever watch this video again? No. Why would I? I'm just simply taping what I do when I get a guitar. And like I said, if any little bits of information come your way that are helpful, cool, that's what I'm about. I like to try to help. Okay, so I'm just going to put the bridge back in its place, and the tops of these right here, these studs right here, are also crappy looking. So I'm going to take my steel wool, go a few times over it. Guess what? Cheesecloth, and those look brand new too. So everything looks brand new as far as the hardware. So I'm going to just grab the low E, shove her right on through the here like we're supposed to. How much do you want to wrap down this? How many windings do you put on here every now and then? Somebody will ask me. Until they go all the way down to the bottom of the post. If you did that to Fender guitars, you would not need string trees. If you'll notice, the Eric Johnson model Stratocaster has no string trees on it because he uses height compensated saddles, which get smaller and smaller and smaller down as you go. So therefore, his Strats are the only Strats in the world, other than people who do their strings right, that have no need for a string tree, thus reducing, you know, any more friction. You know, so you don't need string trees on a Fender guitar. It's just a matter of how you use your strings. Okay. So okay, I got that one wound all the way down to the bottom. It took on the low E string 5 wraps around. Okay. So you're going to need more wrappings per string. So just cram them through there and wind them underneath the whole way down. Don't bend them. Don't kink them. Don't do any bullshit. Because it is all bullshit, and it does not hold any better tune no matter how it is that you guys have been talked into doing it. Okay, so just put it on there. Do not twist the strings around manually. I'll show you what I mean in a second. That screws up the process. Okay, so I'm putting as much string as it takes, because I know how much it takes, to get it all the way to the bottom of the peg, but not start coming back up again. Okay, you never, ever, ever want the string to cross itself. Okay, so you wind it, and that one actually took about 8 wraps all the way around. Okay, you want to see that? Okay, let's go to the A string, and let's take a look. Right there. There you go. Let's get it closer. Might actually focus, I don't know. There's kind of focusing. But there you go. About 8 wraps for that sucker. All the way down to the bottom. Okay? Why? Because you don't need any better reason than that. Why? Because it works. All this other shit that people keep telling you it works, it doesn't work. When I tell you it does, it's supposed to mean something. Why? Because, again, I know what I'm doing, no matter how many people are sitting there laughing right now. Because I've done this forever and ever and ever and ever. People ask about the this part right here, about using the automatic tools to grind your stuff and make them wind really fast. That stuff's fine. No problem at all. So if you got a drill bit with a string winder on it, have at it, kiddies. And never leave your strings uncut. Always chop them off. You're going to poke a damn eyeball out with that crap. And plus it looks stupid. I don't care how great. It's just like the people that wear the baggy ass jeans and show your underwear. You people look fucking stupid. Grow up. You guys are going to look back at yourselves and just laugh like a son bitch someday. I can't believe 20 years later some of you guys are still wearing your pants all the way down to your fucking kneecaps and then putting a belt on. It's like you got 28-inch waist and you're wearing 48-inch pants. What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, yeah, I'm going to be just like your mom and tell you that stuff. Anyway, what I was talking about, don't put your string in there and then start wrapping it around and think you're saving yourself some time. Yeah, you're saving yourself some time, but you're actually doing damage to the string in a way that you're adding, depending on which way you're going with it. If you have all 6 keys on one side, or 3 and 3 like a Les Paul, you are either winding or unwinding the actual windings on the string. Just enough to make the sound of the string go to shit. So that's why you wipe it on, wipe on, wipe off, wipe on, wipe off. The crapper. Okay, so my G string is wound down to this ass end. Okay. Okay, it's on the saddle. Yep, I told you it's going to be just a fun as hell video to watch. And look, you're not getting much more than that, so I'm just yakking. But, yeah, you're going to fuck up your strings if you sit there, put them on, and start wrapping them with your fingers. Especially the wound strings. The other ones, yeah, you still create problems, not as much. But, yeah, it's not something you want to do. It physically does screw with the integrity of the string and with the sound of the string. Anybody wants to call bullshit on it, call bullshit all you want, but my stuff's always going to be in tune and my stuff's always going to sound great, and yours is going to be wrong and you're not going to understand why, unless this video creeps back into your head while you're sleeping, and I hope it does. I hope you have nightmares when you're at the gig and everything sounds like shit and they're looking at you, what the hell? And you're like, well, Scott told me not to, but I did it anyway. I'm sure that happens on a daily basis in most of y'all's lives. I'm sure you don't give me a second thought, but that's okay. Okay, so the strings are almost on this bit, so I can finish cleaning it up. How long does it take for strings to stretch out? Overnight? No. 5 hours? 10 hours? No. 2 minutes tops from after you put them on till you actually go to tuning it and stretching the strings. 2 minutes. That's all it should take. So if you're going out of tune after you put your strings on and you're trying to blame it on new strings, it's not because of new strings, it's because you don't know what the fuck you're doing when you're changing them and how to stretch them out. I don't know if I'll even have enough time to tell you, as I will have them stretched out before I get them ready. Okay, I'm just going to look at the pickups now. Okay, all our strings are on. Now you can see the strings are actually, looks like let me do this so it'll focus. My pickups are way down now, so everything's clearing. I will grab my screwdriver, get my pickup. I can tell exactly where they're going to have to be just by looking at the guitar. Dun, 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 dun. And I won't even have to sound test it hardly at all, unless I just have one pickup that's just kind of weak. And bridge pickup, or I'm sorry, the neck pickup needs to go down a lot further because it's still almost touching the damn neck, or touching the bottom of the strings. Okay, that one wants to cooperate. And okay, finally the pickups are going down, down, down. Okay, so everything is good. Everything is clearing. You can see that. Okay, so we have a good place to start. Now I can actually flip the guitar over and quickly, using my cheesecloth. There's the wet one. It's still got wet. It's pretty dirty, so like I said, water, no biggie. Any other chemicals of any kind? No, 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 no. Wipe it. I don't care how much you put on there because it's sealed. Okay, so it doesn't matter. If this is bare wood, you don't want to be doing this. But, I mean, it's okay, just like the rosewood was, but you want it off there as quick as you can. So it's on there, it's done its job. So now I grab it, turn it over on the other side, start wiping off all those years of somebody's foolishness. Okay, because like I said, it looks like it's been on here for years and years, and it feels like it. You can smell the smoke on this guitar. Okay, which is always a pleasant thing. I mean, I smoked for 30 years and 3 to 4 packs a day. Okay, and I quit the very day I had my stroke, and of course have not smoked since, not even one puff. I don't even, on the rare occasion that I actually do go in a casino and I'm sitting there, I try not to even inhale those people's stogies anymore, and I really don't miss it at all. Cold turkey, but I was going through so many other things like organs failing and shutting down and other shit, so I wasn't so worried about my smoking habit as I was just trying to cling to life for about a whole year. I know you want to hear this. Yeah, I'm walking around just shitting yourself with no warning whatsoever. Yeah, you think that's funny? Wait till it happens to you. It's no fun, kiddies. Don't ever have a stroke if possible. Weird things happen. It happens to different people in different ways, and it affects you in different ways. Me, like I said, I had probably 20 different organs start to shut down on me, and I was constantly in and out of the ER getting something worked on, operated on, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so there we are. Everything's looking really good. Now, what do we got to do? Turn the volumes and tones up to 10. Throw the real knobs, one's in place. Yep, those are actually tight, unbelievably. Is this one going to be tight? Boom, we have knobs. Everything's groovy. I'm going to, and I know I brought over a cord specifically to my guitar with. Am I going to luck out and get the right one? Nope. Grab a regular one. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay. So now we have strings on here that are brand spanking new. I'm going to plug her into the old tuning machine. Okay. You're not going to get to see much of this because I'm not going to sit here and play cameraman. Okay, so nothing is tuned to anything. I'm just going to get it off the bass setting, go to guitar. Okay, low E's tuned, A's all the way up to B. Let's go down to there. Let's go up to D. G string, you can't even hear. B was up there. E all the way up. This guitar has not even been tuned to pitch or even checked yet, ever since I bought it, until it came in today. I haven't done anything to check the guitar out. I don't even know if it works. It's coming through the tuner, so I'm guessing at least one of the pickups works. Okay, I'm stretching my strings. You're probably not seeing much of this, are you? Okay, so I'm lifting up on the low strings, pulling them away from the body. The other strings, the thin ones, the unwound ones, I just bend them up like I'm doing power bends, and I'm going about 2 whole steps high. So bending an E all the way up to about a G or G sharp. Here's the B string, G, so I'm going through and tuning it back up again. A, low E. Okay, I'm going to do this one more time. Just do it up and down the whole neck. That's the low, and I'm doing it with both hands. Bending and stretching everywhere. I know I'm not too on camera here, but I got shit to get done. And tug away all the way up and down the entire length, both ways, over top of the nut, everywhere, behind the bridge. Everywhere there's a string, stretch it. I'm almost done stretching, and they will never go out of tune again. They're not going to stretch on me. I can't remember the last time I went out of tune due to string stretching. It don't happen. There's no need for it. After this 3rd time around, my strings will be stretched forever. They will never need stretched again, and that's how quick it should take you to stretch your strings, and they will never, ever, ever, ever go out of tune because of stretching. It takes 2 minutes tops to stretch your strings completely. That is it. And if you're yelling bullshit, then I don't know what to tell you about the last 40 years I've been playing, because I have 0 problems. And let's check it one last time. I'm going to check it and see if I'm out of tune. I feel that my strings are completely now stretched. Bend them, bend them, bend them, bend them, bend them, bend them, bend them. Check it, check it, check it, check it, check it, check it. Okay. I'm dead on there on my E. My B is fine. My G is fine. D is fine. A is fine. E is a little out. So out of 6 strings, 5 of them are perfectly stretched. Last one on the low E. And that'll do it. I am done, kids. My strings are changed. My guitar is done. I will do a quick setup in a second. I will plug it in to an amplifier real quick. Check it out. I will do this and zoom out so you can see just what a mess this damn room is, like anybody's who sits down and does this. I'll plug this into the old white Marshall, who does not make any more noise. Just turn it on, see what we got. Okay, let's see. Okay, one of my strings I have actually on top of the nut. It wasn't in its nut slot. Okay. Okay, sounds like I gotta put some pot cleaner on here, which I will do right away. Easy enough. And pot cleaner. And we'll fix that. This is contact cleaner. This is the good stuff, not the crappy stuff. There is crappy stuff. This stuff, right there, detox it. Great stuff, good for all your stuff. All your pots on your amps, your volume knobs. I'll go in there and take the back off and do the volume. Tone's fine. Volume needs it. I'll just pull the back off a little bit, but not on here. No need to take away any more of your time. So let's see. Yeah, that's the Marshall tone. There's my Fender sound. Okay, so I just have a couple of things to do that got twisted here when the strings were off, so I just got to bring the action up a little bit. Actually, it's too low to be comfortable, but there you go. The guitar is as spotless as it ever will be. I'll do a review on it when I get it completely set up, and I'll do that tomorrow. But everything is clean. The frets look like brand spanking new. The guitar is I mean, look, we're as shiny as it's going to get. And it was pitted. You had the bridge looked like shit. Let me see if I can unplug the damn guitar so I can get it up here. The bridge and the okay, so your bridge and your stop tail piece were dirty as all shit. They look like they just came from the factory. Pickups look great. Everything looks great except for the nitro finish due to humidity and just neglect. Just like I was talking about earlier, fretboard looks great. Look at that. The frets, they have shine to them. They're no longer rusted. Nothing has been hurt. Everything is beautiful. No polishes, no nothing, no oils, no bullshit. Just you, Mother Nature, water, some elbow grease, and other than just a fine setup and a couple more sprays in the back to take care of the dirty volume pot. And I'll go ahead and do the tone pot anyway. So open it up in the back, spray the stuff inside the volume pot. There's a hole there, right there next to where you put the where the wires solder on. Squirt it right in there. Do that and you're good to go. Don't do it with an amplifier that's plugged in, let alone turned on, okay? Because it only takes about 15-20 seconds for that stuff to dissipate and evaporate. But that's it, man. People send me the worst of shaped guitars, but like I said, see, check it out. Strings are clear and everything. Everything's great. It's going to sound good when I plug it through the real amp. I'll fine tune it and get the intonation and so forth set. And like I said, there's no real reason that I did the video other than to let you just see what kind of condition crap gets in if you let it get in that condition. Okay, again, right there is my heavy duty lights, and they're going to show you what will happen to your finish. Don't matter whether it's nitro or poly, that will happen, but it'll happen to nitro 20 times faster than it will to poly. Some of you folks think that's cool, so if you want it to be like this, leave it out in your car all night long in the heat or cold, and if it don't totally fuck up your entire guitar, then yes, you'll awake to a nice finish that looks like this probably the next day. So if that's what you really want, grab a nitro guitar and go do that to it. So once again, Scott Grove here, just kind of sharing my evening with you and just leaving the camera on and showing you what can actually be used. Again, tap water. Okay, don't worry about purified crap. Get your steel wool, very fine grade. Again, use masking tape between each fret, unless you just are amazing at it, like I have become, and so you won't scratch up your fretboard. Everything on the side's fine. No need to file anything. Like I said, give everything, if you get a new guitar in, give it about a week to acclimate itself, or to get used to its new conditions. And like I said, make those conditions good. Okay, so don't give it a shitty conditions to have to live in. As long as you keep that temperature between about 70 and 80, and there, then you're fine. And your humidity between 40 and 55% humidity. Okay, so use a humidifier if it's too low, use a dehumidifier if it's too high. And that's it. So go check out the other video about this whole damn thing, and then you'll see what's what. And again, yes, I put water directly on the fretboard, which is fine. You won't need it for a maple fingerboard because it's coated and you can just wipe it right off, but there won't be any dirt on it. But for rosewood, yeah, ebony, you don't have to worry about it near as much. It's right between this and maple, the ebony is, but it's more towards the maple. It's very easy to clean. You'll see it on all your cellos and your violins and so forth. It's very easy, but rosewood is a bitch. See all those pores in there? That collects gunk, all the shit from your fingers, all the dirt from your fingers, the oils from your fingers, and that will you'll be playing all night. Again, you'll spread that all over your fingers and rub it in between your string windings and kill your strings. That's why on your rosewood fingerboard guitars, the strings go dead 10 times faster than they do on your maple fingerboard guitars, because you're not spreading dirt. Okay, so wash your hands very good before ever playing your guitar, and then when you play, there won't be any dirt on your guitar anyway. But if you forget, and you have a rosewood fingerboard, it's still going to be there. That dirt's not going away until you take all the strings off. Clean the whole damn board. I mean, big time, clean it. If you take one string off and try to do it, you're just going to get water all over your strings and rust your fucking strings. So take your strings off. It doesn't matter. You can leave them on. Okay, I know I'm going to get letters for this one, but at the end of a lot of shows, I take my strings and I just cut them full tension. I just grab my pliers, I cut all my strings off, and there's no such thing as a encore. And then I put new strings on it as soon as I'm done playing. Just, you know, if I know it's time to put new strings on, I cut them off, full tension. It doesn't matter. Somebody's going to say, God, you're fucking retarded. You can say whatever you want, but I'm not. Okay, so once again, Scott Grove, thanks for hanging out with me for 50 minutes and just listen to me yakking about how to set up this new monstrosity. Again, this is the 1984 Gibson Explorer 3 with the 3 P90s, and I will do a full thing tomorrow on this, a review on it. I've done one before on one of my other ones. You could watch it if you want, just know that the color's different. Okay, my other one, just like this, that was black, I couldn't stand the checking anymore, so I sent it to Mr. David Anderson, and it's being painted as we speak. I don't know if I've got the paint swatch right here with me or not. Let me take a quick look. I'm looking. I'm not going to take too awful long to look. And the lights are so damn bright I can't see what I'm doing over here. But I don't see it. But anyway, it is coming back as a metallic green. Okay, so I never changed things from normal, but I couldn't stand looking at that black sumbitch anymore. That's what she said. Oh no, he didn't. But with all the checks, so it's being redone in a green metallic poly finish, and it's going to be beautiful. It's about done, so it's going to be amazing. And I'll show that to you, of course, when it gets back and it has a real finish on it that will last it a lifetime. Why? Because I know how to take care of shit, and I know which finishes hold up better to where I live, and you keep your music room acclimated to the proper temperature and the proper humidity levels, and everything will be fine always. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. I just enjoy yakking, of course, as always. And hey, Desert Storm guitar right here. It screams 80s, don't it? This is back when people actually took chances and did cool things. Again, this is from the Designer series. A good buddy of mine told me the one with the camo finish never even appeared even in the finish options, let alone as a picture with the all the different Designer lines and marks and squiggly things and splatters and everything they did for the Designer thing. So the camo thing is very hard to find. Not the camel toe. I put on new jeans today, so I wouldn't give you a camel toe. That's not camel toe, that's moose knuckle, man. Look at the size of that son of a bitch. Okay, so anyway, I'm out of here, and I know it looks like somebody threw up all over the guitar. I know they've been saying that for, what's it been now? Damn near 30 years since this guitar came out, so yeah, I've heard it before. So there you go, and hope you just, like I said, enjoyed hanging out and hearing shit you should and should not do. If you don't take anything as being true, then you're a dumb motherfucker. Check it out. I'm in perfect tune, dudes, and always going to be. The strings are stretched 100%. 100% stretched, never will go out of tune again unless the temperature changes. But that's not because the strings are stretching, because they are stretched as much as they will ever need to be in their entire lives. You could whammy the holy shit out of it, they would not go out of tune if it had a whammy. So just know that it only takes 2 minutes to change your strings and to totally stretch them out to where they never need to be stretched again. If you think they're stretching and that's causing you to go out of tune, it's because you don't know how to change your strings right. Okay? And maybe I'll do a whole lesson on changing strings, because most people don't teach them right, especially for free here on YouTube. A lot of videos on how to change strings, and most of them are wrong. Everybody thinks their method is right, but hey, if I can do it in 2 minutes and have it perfect, and do that for, like I said, like 30 some years, guess what? I'm right again. Hey, go figure. Yeah, I love to be right. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'll shut up and let you not puke anymore. Take care. Bye-bye.